Remember when juicy news about really cool content would drop for your favourite World War II shooter? Hell Let Loose fans, look away now because Squad 44 devs have just dropped some Iwo Jima sneak peeks. For those who don't already know, Squad 44 is getting the Pacific Theatre featuring the US Marines against the Imperial Japanese Army. And the first map will be set in Iwo Jima, the site of a bloody battle to capture the island from the Japanese defenders. You are seeing work in progress screenshots from this new map which is coming at the end of this year. Here's what we know so far. The map size will be 1:1 real life. As a result, it won't be possible to cover the entirety of the island in this map. The map will focus on the south side of the island up to the Motoyama airfield and a bit beyond that. The devs have highlighted that the fact that the map is a 1:1 scale actually helps add a bit of a natural balance to the gameplay, because any players on the Japanese team who deploy to the top of Mount Suribachi, for example, won't be able to easily pick off American Marines storming the beaches with small arms as they'll be too far away. Mount Suribachi will be heavily fortified, and this mountain on the southwest end of the island will stand roughly about 170 meters above sea level, providing great elevation and views of the beach. But good luck trying to rush that. We're going to be encountering a wall of Japanese trenches, bunkers, pillboxes, tunnels and more defences. The map has over 150 gun positions and pillboxes littered throughout the landscape. And we know that Mount Suribachi will have deep and extensive tunnel networks, and the devs have even stated that this map will have more dugout trenches than any other map in the game currently. Now the devs have chosen to depart a bit away from pure realism, and the tunnels will be much wider and larger than their real life counterparts, which were dug in and around the mountain. In real life, those tunnels were just large enough for a man to stand or crouch in, and this would be terrible for gameplay, as one player could easily hold off countless enemies by just firing down this trench or the tunnel. So the devs have made the call to make the tunnels wider and larger to enable more movement, ability to take cover, advance and maneuver, just to make gameplay a bit more interesting and fun. Now, the US Marine Commander will have access to a 16-inch naval gun commander call-in. The Japanese will have a commander call-in featuring the 320mm mortar. The Imperial Japanese Army will not have any air support assets, but both nations will have access to tanks. The Japanese forces will have a choice of placing their tanks in hull-down positions in relative safety, trying to pick off Americans, or they can roam around the map trying not to get wrecked by a US Sherman. Now the beach playable area is a whopping 2.7 kilometers long and in some parts 250 meters deep, and the map itself will feature more than 2,000 craters for players to take cover in. A lot of work has gone into this obviously, and the devs have almost exclusively used brand new 3D assets for the map, as almost nothing could be transported straight over from the European theatres which are already in the game. They even noted that the types of trenches that were built by the Japanese were quite different to the ones already in Squad 44, so they had to model those from scratch, and they'll have their own look and feel, so the attention to detail from the devs here is really impressive. The Japanese will have access to some defensive guns which are pre-placed on the map, and some of these will be usable after the heavy bombardment from the US Navy. So Japanese defenders will be able to access some of these assets to use against the Americans once the bombardment ends and the Marines start to hit the beach. The map also has the fleet in the background, the US fleet, which will feature several battleships and aircraft carriers, among them the USS Iowa, Missouri, North Carolina, Enterprise, Lexington and Wasp. So the map's going to have lots of cool stuff going through it. Guys, let me know what you think about this first look at the Iwo Jima map. I'm very excited about this, and I can't wait to get a chance to play it in the near future.